design of my Minecraft mod. So we did some drawing. Well, we tried to do drawing. Olivia was too tired, so I let her. So I put her to bed. But I wanted to. I have this mod that I'm trying to design, and a big element of it is, from a technical perspective, is to reduce the load on the Minecraft server. So lots and lots of people can join a server, and they can all play on the server. Over time, people make these really cool creations. But these really cool creations, basically, the cooler they are, usually, the more it taxes the server, and it starts to get very slow, and it causes problems. So I wanted to make a mod that scales really, really well. So you can make really cool creations, really fun creations that are like fantastic. And rather than slowing down the server, it should have like no impact on the server whatsoever. It should be as butter smooth as it was before, and everybody can have these fantastic creations. So I'm designing an algorithm behind this that basically allows everything to work, even if the server's off. So the server can figure out everything that should have happened over however much time passed in an instant, and not have to keep doing it every 20 times a second or something like that, or with any sort of regularity. So one of the things I was thinking of is in order to do this, I have to basically either replace or make a version of all of the mechanics that are already in the game. And one of those is farming and crafting and things like that. So what I did, I was thinking about that, and then I was thinking about power generation, and then to support this infrastructure, I need a cooling system and a few other things specific to this mod. But then I was thinking, well, what about stuff that's not in Origin? So I came up with some blocks that would allow you to farm, of creating an automated farm. That's the idea anyways. So this is just a draft that I just did in like the last few minutes. So there's something like this. So the theme for the mod is quantum and time. Those are two, very vague themes that I have going on, because if you want any block from this mod to interact with like another machine from a different mod, then it has to calculate the state at that given point in time. And so I'm fitting that into the gameplay, into the story of the mod, by calling that like the quantum wave function collapses. So that kind of fits, and it's kind of cool, and it gives me a lot of good material to use. And then the other part with the time is I have this chronotype ore, which is vaguely references time, and maybe I can turn it into chronoton plasma, I think Star Trek calls. So one of the things is, well, how am I going to do farming? How am I going to do things that are not machines? So I have this quantum environment block, or this quantum growth chamber for growing plants. And so, okay, I can create this chamber, and I can stuff a plant in it, and it will work within the system. So that's cool. But how do I make that interesting? It's not interesting if I just have a block, and I just put a plant in it, and then I get everything out of that block. That's not cool. So I thought, well, how about fertilizer, and I need power, and water, and sunlight of some type. So that's cool. But that's still just one block. And when people automate farms, they have to make decisions on, okay, which sort of mechanism am I going to use to automate the farm? What am I going to use to harvest the plants? What am I going to use to plant the plants? All that kind of stuff. And so they end up with this large, area, 16 by 16 blocks, by 4 blocks, meters, inside, where they automated all this stuff. They figured out power delivery, they figured out how to satisfy all the needs of that in their storage system. So I need to do a similar sort of thing. So what I've done is I've created more blocks. So let's say you want to plant a tree. Well, a tree can be very large. So then you need a quantum environment block. So you can expand. So then I have another requirement. Well, you can make a multi-block structure, but it has to be like a rectangular sort of shape. You can't have any sort of concave or convex portions except for the rectangular shape. So if you want to do things like have shorter plants and larger plants, you either have to bite the bullet and waste that space above the shorter plants, separate multi-block farm structures, but that'll be a little more expensive in another way. So it's a trade-off. And then there's things like environmental control. So maybe you want to change the biome, and then maybe there's a range for that. And then there's environmental water ports, and fertilizer, and then item output and harvesting and that kind of stuff. So all of these things are going to be blocks size that they can mine So I want to make it really interesting to build a farm, just like it is today. I don't want to remove that fun. I don't want it to be a push button sort of type of thing. So I went ahead and thought about farming. I'm going to also go through a mob farm, for example. So this is farming plants. I like this so far. But I also want to do things like a mob farm. Well, the cool thing about a mob farm about building it is there's danger involved. Because if you mess it up, your mobs will escape. And if you did a good mob farm, you'll have lots and lots of mobs. So you have to replicate that kind of danger. And then the obvious ones like power generation. I want to do a multi-block and I want to make it interesting or refining. Or refining is not necessarily a multi-block. Not everything has to be a multi-block to be interesting. It can be a lot of different components with conduits. The deep resonance mod, for example, has a really neat mechanic for refining the fuel, the resonating crystals that it uses. And I like that a lot. So some things will be like a kind of sort of like a strict sense of a multi-block, and other things will be more like the deep resonance, where it's just a collection of machines that really need to work together. And it's really fun to kind of put them together and try and automate it and figure out the best way to do it. So, anyways, I just started designing this. I've always wanted to do a Minecraft mod, but I never really knew what to do. I've also always wanted to do something that would, help the server performance issues, and I really didn't know what to do there. But I think something like this is pretty cool. So the idea is I'll have a really good design, write down all my notes, put them online at some point, have sort of like the design document and my concept art, so that at some point I can actually implement it and stay true to what I've designed. Have a coherent image of what it needs to do, so I know what it works towards. But also potentially, if other people want to help in the effort, everybody will have a coherent, idea of where it's going. Like, there should be no question on all of the big topics. It will just come down to little things. So it's kind of like writing a spec or a design document. I guess that's exactly what it is. So I'm having fun with it, and I can do a lot of this, pathfinding and stuff on my iPad.
Can we continue?
Yeah, I have no idea what it is. Like, there should be no question.